Just one more person that I really wanted, since we talked about Reggie, I think he needs to be here just to let you understand what prostate cancer can do, because a lot of men walk into our office and say it's a slow-growing cancer, and very few people die of prostate cancer. So be it. I see enough people dying of prostate cancer in my practice, and I think it's very important to meet people like Reggie out here. And now the next person I'm going to call over out here was this is an incredible story, because there was no way that I even imagined that he would be here today after I looked at his pathology and what I had to go through in extricating that nasty cancer from his body. Gabriel Torres. Gabriel. It's a young man.
Good evening. My name is Gabriel Torres. You probably wonder, why am I here, right? I look good so far. I'm 51 years old. Last Thanksgiving weekend, November of 2008, 2 weeks before that, I was diagnosed by my doctor as having prostate cancer. I said, prostate what? He said, cancer. I said, okay. I was with my brother, who's here present with me, and my wife. She couldn't make it this evening. And we looked at it and I said, you know what? What are we going to do? He says, your choice. I said, I have a 14-year-old daughter. Not too bad. I've been married for 30 years. And I want to be able to dance with my grandkids. And that's the way I looked at it. The cancer was very advanced, as the doctor said right now. 3/4, actually 9 out of the 12 samples that they drew had cancer. The cells were at a state of 8 out of 1 out of 10. And so it didn't look very good. And I said, I know where it's at. I know its name. I know what it wants to do. My turn. Let's take it out. The doctor that I saw was going to perform the traditional surgery. And immediately I said, right there in front of my wife and my brother, I said, let's take it out. I didn't bat an eye. I know what the pros and cons are. And I'm not willing to go through it. I'm still young. I want to move forward. But after I left this office, my wife said, let's take a look at this and see what else can be done. I said, the decision is made, pardon me, that it's coming out. My brother looked at me and he said, if anybody has the, and I'll never forget these words, he said to me, if anyone has the arrogance to beat this, it's you. And I said, the arrogance? And he says, absolutely, man. This is going to be a cakewalk. So we did some research, and my wife recommended Dr. Sanjay, and my brother and I were driving that day. And this is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Let me see this. Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I'm planning to carve a turkey the next day. I have a CT scan the following day, that Friday, and I have a bone also scanned on Friday. But in the midst, we have turkey to cut up. My brother and I are driving on a Wednesday, and I called the doctor's office, and I said, he's busy. If you can make it here within the hour, he will see you. Perfect. I was the guy with all the answers. I knew what my case was. I had all my paperwork. I was ready to be opened up. And I told my brother, want to take a ride? He said, absolutely. We went to his office, got there at 1 o'clock, and he was busy as heck, as you all know. And I was seen at 6:30 in the afternoon, but I was happy to wait because I wanted to see this guy, see what he was going to do. He looked at me, he says, it doesn't look good. I said, I know, that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I'll be preparing for the turkey tomorrow. But he says, I can't see you till February. I said, can't do. I don't have the time. I recognize the predicament that I'm in, and I recognize that I have to do something about it now. If you could do it today, I'm all for it. I'm ready to go. I'm, bright eye and bushy tail, as they say. I'm ready to go. He said, February is the best I can do. And then he looked at me, and my brother said to him, listen, this is my baby brother. Help him out. And he looked at both of us, and he said, you guys shouldn't be here. But I'm beginning to see men younger and younger every single time. And I says, let's go see my assistant. And Ellie's was in the office, and she said, I don't know, we're busy, and the holidays are coming up, and the whole 9 yards. I said, look, she says, the best I can do is February 24th. And I said, and he goes, he cannot wait. He is right. He cannot wait. She says, let's see what we can do, and we can bring you in as soon as possible. Make the long story short, 17th of December, she calls me the day after Thanksgiving. She goes, Gabe, 17th of December. I said, I love you forever. What do you want? You know? And she goes, somebody had a cancellation. It gets better. And then she goes, let's set it up for that day. I said, all right, great. I go to work. I'm all going on, no problem. By the way, we went through the turkey, and all this stuff is in the back of my mind. Big kept secret, as most of you had gone through. I don't want to ruin anybody's Thanksgiving. So the only ones that knew my accomplices were my brother and my wife. And so we kept it that way. It was a little somber, but it was tight. It was us. The next day, went through the whole procedure, the whole 9 yards, and she said, the 17th, I said, beautiful, I love you. I told my wife, hey, great news. That wasn't Ellie's. And from here, I'm going to the hospital right now to get my CT scan, the whole 9 yards. All right. Well, needless to say, a week later, she calls me. She goes, are you ready? I said, you're kidding me? I'm ready to go. She goes, day after tomorrow, 11th of December. I said, you know what? I'm there. So I came here on the 10th, got pre-op, the whole 9 yards, and everything went well. But when I went to see Dr. Sanjay, he said something to me that will forever stick to me. His humbleness is unlike anyone I've ever seen. His bedside manners are impeccable. And he said to me, I give you 99% chance. I said, 99% chance. I said, damn, that's pretty good. He goes, I leave the other 1% to God. He decides. So when I came here, and I was being wheeled into the operating room, and I said, dear Lord, all I'm asking for is 1%. I got 99% of the bag. Come on. Just give me that 1% and I'm good to go. And I kid you not. That's all. Before, as I was being put on the table, and I saw Dr. Sanjay, about 8-10 feet away from me, as you have seen him. And I looked at him, I see this big equipment, and I go, all right, this is going to be good. And I kid you not, the last words in my mind, and as I prayed, was 1%. That's all I want, just 1%. After the surgery, my wife told me that he wasn't too happy. He didn't look too happy after the surgery, my surgery. And obviously he had reasons to be concerned because it was very advanced. It shouldn't be. Come on, look, I'm 50 years old. Why am I going through this nonsense? I have no history, none of that stuff. I went to get checked out because that was my routine. Every year I get checked out. My doctor's concern was not cancer in my family, it was heart disease. Our father passed away at the age of 49, so they keep a real short leash on me in terms of my doctor. But in the process, he discovered my PSA had doubled from 1 year to the next. And that was the issue. That's what this whole thing evolved. So needless to say, I went to see him. He says, you know what? I cannot explain it. He says, you're a lucky man. He says, you're blessed. I said, I know it. He says, you give thanks to God. I said, I do every time I wake up in the middle of the night. I said, thank you, dear Lord. It's been great. And I say, he says, I still cannot explain how come it didn't spread. And I said, he goes, and I had to go back to the pathologist report to find out why. He couldn't explain it. And he says, it never left the prostate. And I said, believe it or not, that's all I ever asked for. I said, I know where it's at, I know what it's going to do. Just hold it there. Give it long enough to the guy whose hands you put me in was able to remove it. Listen, thank you to all of you. Thank you. Thank you to your staff. My daughter turned 15 last Wednesday. We celebrated last Saturday. Okay, the doctor couldn't make it. The rest of the staff did. I thank you so much for being a part of our family and considering us part of yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today, being part of this extended family. And we will continue. And till we find a cure, we're going to keep going this way and see winners like you day in and day out. Thank you very much for coming over and sharing this with me.